Hi, today I'm making a pair of earrings out of aluminum, and what this is a recycled soda can. So I have cut out a piece of soda can, and then I have run it through my die cutting machine with an embossing folder on it. So now what I'm going to do here is apply the alcohol ink, and what I'm using today is by Marabou. And I have their rainbow, I have purple, and I have Caribbean. So I am just going to drop this on here and kind of let it do its thing. And I will also be using either a tissue or a dry baby wipe. Yeah, I'll use a dry baby wipe. I've done this before. And I'm just going to get that all over the aluminum. So I'm just going to keep working to build up layers here. I might add in another color. We'll see how it goes. I think I want to add in the vanilla. So just move it around a little bit. I'm liking the colors I'm getting. And I think I am just going to use a bit of a heat gun on this to get it to dry. Let's see. It's probably pretty close. Alright, and now I'm going to add the rainbow. Now it has flecks in it, or I'm not really sure what I'd call it, but you can hear the bead in there that you need to shake it up to get the color to work. So let's see how that goes. I really like the iridescence that it gives. So I'm just going to be generous with it on here. All right, so the next thing is to let this dry and then die cut out the pieces that I want to use. All right, this is small enough to go through the mini maker. So what I have here is my mini maker, and I have my A, my metal, my B plate, and then I have the die taped on with washi tape just to hold it in place. And I'm going to send that with a die through the mini maker. And I'm just going slow here because I'm asking it to do a lot of work. I'll give it a go and see how it did. So I should be able to punch that out, yeah. So just move that out of the way quickly to show you what the earrings are going to look like. So that. So I'm going to stick this on again in the same color scope. So what I want to show you here is I have cut a number of pieces, and I moved up to my crossover 2 because it's sturdier. So just to show you the pieces I've cut, there's, let's move this out of the way. There's one. Here's another. Can you see those? Okay. Then I've got some circles here. And then here's the last one. So now the ones that don't have holes in them, I will punch holes in them. And I will probably coat them with UV resin just to give them a little bit of thickness. So I will come back and show you that. Alright, so the next step that I'm going to follow here is I have flipped all the earring pieces upside down, and I have a permanent black marker here. And I am just going to cover the back sides just so they look a little bit more professional and we don't see the soda can markings. So this step is entirely up to you if you want to do it. I have made some in the past that I didn't bother with doing the back, and then that way I could actually flip them over and show people what they were made out of. So it's real quick and easy. It just takes me a few seconds here for each one to kind of cover the back, and I am just using a pair of tweezers to hold this down, and so it doesn't move around too much on me. And so I'm not marking the front side with the black. Okay, and one more to go. Okay, all done. Now, like I said, some of these already have holes in them. I am going to use this jewelry maker tool. It's a hole punch plier that I got from Maker's Movement. And some of the dies and jewelry parts I'm going to be using are from them as well. But hopefully here you can see how this works. It goes into that hole and leaves a hole. So these should already have a hole in them. Let's just see if the die worked. Yeah. So that's really nice when the die comes with the hole already punched in it. And I think the round ones did too. There we go. That was a little stubborn. This one doesn't have the ink all the way to the edge, but I think I'm going to leave it because it matches. Yeah, see, this one doesn't either. It matches some of the color here. All right. So there we go. All right, now the rest of these, I'm going to need to punch holes in them. So I want to decide where that hole is going to go, line it up, Make sure I'm centered and give it a push. There we go. That's all it looks like. I have a little bit here that I have to pull off the back, and I might just nip that with a wire clipper. Okay. Alright, and once again I'm going to go in here and nip that off. Alright, and then the last ones. Now these seem to be a little pointy for me. What I might do here is line them up and just cut them down a little bit. And I typically do that with this die just because I think that is too drastic of a point at the top, and I really can't punch a hole into it either. So I just shorten them up a little bit, straighten them out. Alright, so with those cut, I can now easily line them up here. There's one. There's the other one. And once again, I'm going to work to take these off the back, and I'm finding that twisting is actually working better for me than cutting them off. Alright, so there we have all of those pieces done. Now the next step, like I said, was I was going to cover them in UV. And this is what it looks like, and I will just do one pair here to kind of show you how it goes, and then we're going to put it underneath a UV light. So just start, and I'm just going to put a blob on here, maybe a little bit more on this one, and then find my toothpick here. Got a lot of stuff in the way. Alright, so once again I'm just gonna kind of hold here, and then I'm just gonna get this covered. I will probably have to go back and open that hole again because I'm covering it up. That's okay. The other thing that this does is it gives it a really nice gloss finish. Now, if you want this thick, you can go through and do multiple layers of it. I am just doing this one layer. See, I'm moving it around a little bit, make sure I have everything covered. Alright, and then I'm going to bring in my UV light. I have to get the cord and plug it in. I don't ever leave it plugged in all the time. Alright, so now we just put the UV light on, and turn it on to expose it. And we'll let that go. Okay, so I have finished giving each piece a coating of UV resin, and I just wanted to show you with a cut piece of faux leather what it would look like if you were to stack them on top of. So that's what I'm going to do with this pair. So just to kind of show you, I'm going to take this jump ring. I don't throw it all over the place. Alright, so with a jump ring, you want to twist them open, not pull them apart. Okay, so as I do that, I'm going to thread these on here. And I opened these holes, but I may need to, yeah, it looks like that one got resined over. So I am just gonna give it a quick punch here. Make sure I can get through it. Okay. Probably should check the other one too. Now, just to give you a heads up, alcohol ink and UV resin do not like to play well with each other. And so here I've gotten some on the back, and it's removed some of the black marker. On this pair it doesn't really matter because they're going on top of the faux leather. But if I were going to do it any other way, you definitely want to touch those up and also wipe off the backs if you got any of the UV resin on there. So this piece is being a little stubborn for me. Let's see if I can finagle it on here. There we go. Alright, it was just being stubborn. So now I'm going to twist those two pieces back together again. And I don't know if you can see here, I want those to get as close to each other as possible up there. And then I'm going to check it this direction also. Now, wire, if it's soft, if you jiggle it a few times, it will stiffen up for you. So, if this isn't tight for you, and you don't like how that's working, you can just give them a little bit of jiggle. Alright, now this little teeny tiny jump ring is the one I'm going to use to connect the ear wire to the dangle part. Okay, so same thing here. They're small, so you have to be careful. Alright, I'm going to give it a nice big twist. I'm going to hang the earring part and then the ear wire. You always want to make sure you've got your ear wire going the right way. You can always undo this and hang it again if you need to. Which I'm going to have to because I did it backwards. I have a tendency to do that. I don't know if it's because I'm left-handed. But yeah, I do tend to get the ear wires on backwards. So I'm gonna untwist this. Alright, slide that guy off. Get my tweezers out of the way. Flip them over. Put it back on. And this time, that got opened a little bit, so I want to make sure everything's closed. And there we have it. Okay, so one earring done, and then I will do the other one the same way.